Hi there. In a previous video, we looked at how you could use Desmos and use graphs to check work to see whether or not you had factored a polynomial correctly. But that doesn't necessarily address what if they're just really close graphs and not identical. So here's one way you can double check that on Desmos. So I have there graphed in the purple x squared minus 2x minus 15. And what I'm going to do is turn on the visibility for my potential factors x minus 5 and x plus 3. And when I do that, you can see that this black graph appears to be laying right on top of the purple graph. And you could check that by zooming way in and taking a closer look. But if there's any question at all, because we know things could be like super close together mathematically and they could look like they're the same graph, but not really be it, how could you reassure yourself that yes, these are the same graphs? Well, one way you might be able to do that on Desmos is by looking at the table. So we've got the expressions up here. We're looking at the graph. The third way of representing these functions is with a table. So I'm going to go ahead, click on the first function, click on the gear, and I'm going to choose create table. And what that's going to do is not just show me the picture of the graph, but it's going to give me actual values on the graph. And then I'm going to click on the second graph and I'm going to repeat that process. I'm going to create a table. And what I can do is compare those two tables together. So I can see -2, -7. So what I know now is not just that the points are really close together, but they are actually the same points. And since we know that we only need a certain number of points to graph a parabola in the first place, if we know that they match up, we know that yes, we actually have the same graph. So if you're uncomfortable just going by, oh, do the graphs match up? You can always do this, convert those over to a table and compare the individual points. So I hope this gives you a second way to check to see whether or not you have the correct factorization by looking at the tables as well as the graphs.